Hi, superstars. It is time for science. We are on the module Impacts on Earth Systems, and we are finishing up lesson 3, People Change Environments. Let's look at this science file. Where does your food come from? Let's listen and learn about how humans find food in their environment. There's farming. People plant crops to get food. They have animals on their farms. He's holding a basket of vegetables. Look at the cows. We get milk, cheese, meat from the farms. Some people use their environment to farm. They raise livestock such as cows, goats. They grow gardens. They can get vegetables from their gardens. There's many places that humans find food in their environment. Open up your science books to page 167. So I want you to think of a meal that you had this week, something that you ate. Where did the foods come from? Maybe you ate chicken. Maybe you had pizza. Maybe you had a salad. Where does that food come from? Well, maybe if you had chicken, that came from a farm. How about a salad? Lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. Well, those are also grown on a farm, right? If you drink milk or had some cheese, where would that come from? From a cow who lives on a farm. So think about where your food comes from. How would you get food if there were no grocery stores or restaurants? You would go to a farm to get it. That is correct. So on this paper, it says how humans find food in their environment. Where does your food come from? And I want you to draw a picture. Remember, we're not talking about the grocery store or a restaurant. We're talking about where it comes from, such as a farm. Maybe you have a garden and you picked some vegetables from your garden. So I want you to draw a picture. How does finding food change the environment? How does it change the environment? Remember, we were talking about farms and how they have to clear the land and cut down trees in order to build farms. Also, planting things gives other animals homes and shelter. You get insects that you can feed from a garden, from flowers. So there's a lot of changes in our environment that happen when we plant gardens or we plant vegetables or crops. Are you ready to show what you learned? You saw how people change the environment. Open up to page 168 in your science books. You are going to plant a garden. Think about what you want in your garden and what will it look like. So you are going to make a model. You're going to choose a type of garden. Do you want a vegetable garden? Do you want a flower garden? Choose the location of your garden. Where do you think you'd plant it? How about the size of your garden? Do you want a really big garden or a small garden? Choose some plants for your garden and help draw the plan for your garden. So you are going to draw a plan of your garden right here and what you're going to plant in it. So it can be a garden with flowers, or it can be a garden with vegetables. It's whatever you want. Now you have to think, how does this garden meet people's needs? Well, if you're planting a vegetable garden, it gives them food. So that's a need that it met. How about your garden? How did it change the environment? Maybe you're going to put more plants so there are more places for animals and insects to live. Is the garden a good or a bad thing? It's a good change. It gives people food and it doesn't cause any problems. Our essential question in this module is, how do humans change the environment? You've explored changes that people make to an environment. You've planned a garden. Let's watch this video about how humans change the environment again, and let's see how your thoughts have changed after you've learned how humans change the environment.
An environment is everything that surrounds living things. It is also called the natural world. This is an example of an environment. Throughout history, people have changed their environment to meet their needs. Here is one. A long time ago, early people used places like caves as shelter. Later, people used trees to build a shelter or home. The shelter protected them from rain, snow, and even dangerous animals. People also learned to use the land to farm and get natural resources. Here, farmers are gathering some of the food they have grown. Can you think of ways you change the environment?
Open up your science books to page 169. What do you think about how humans change the environment now? Have your thoughts changed? So we're going to write an answer for how humans change the environment. So can you think of a way that humans change the environment? You saw that video. What was one thing that humans did to change the environment? Well, they built homes, right? For shelter from the weather and from dangerous animals. What else did they do? They built roads. So they had to clear trees and forests. And what's another thing humans did to change the environment? What other needs do humans need in order to live? We need food, right? So what's something else that they did? They built farms. That way they could have crops, they could have animals on the farms, and that is another way humans change the environment. So they built homes and roads and farms. So write those down. You learned how plants, animals, and humans change the environment. What do you think about those changes now? Open up your science books to page 170. Think about how the environment looks before and after an animal or a human changes it. And you're going to create a poster. So you're going to divide your poster into You're going to label one side before there were any changes, and then the other side after there were changes. So on the side that says before, you're going to draw an environment. And then under after, you're going to draw how the environment changed. So think about how animals and humans, how they change the environment, or plants. So for instance, do you remember how humans changed the environment? There was big forests, and what did humans do to those forests? They had to cut the trees down and clear the forest in order to build homes, or maybe to build a farm. And how about animals? What do? They build shelters, right? Birds might build a nest in a tree. Beavers, how do they build shelter? They build dams. So you show the environment before they built their shelter and after. And then draw the needs that the plant or the animal or the human met. So if the human built a farm, what are the needs that that human met? To food, right? So the human was making a farm in order to get food from the vegetables, from the animals that are on the farm. And if a bird or an animal is building a shelter, the bird is meeting its need for protection, for it has a home to live in and to have its babies in. So what happens if this need is not met for the animal? Let's say for the animal, if they couldn't build a shelter, there were no trees. Well, the animal might die and it might move somewhere else where its needs are met. So think about before and after. You can go look at the video if you need some ideas also on how humans change the environment. And then you will go to page 171. You're going to draw a picture to show how needs are met. So explain how the environment was changed in your poster, and then you're going to draw the needs the plant or animal or human met. All right, good job, superstars. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.